Welcome to Jugni, Sunny.
Thanks.
Or Sachin, right?
Yeah, I like Sunny.
And you almost always play Sunny.
I know. Everyone who watches it goes, dude, you're not even acting.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly what you do in real life. No one should know your real government name. We need our own slur. Like, yo, what are you saying? And you'd be like, well,
She's dying. So you worked in the industry 25 years.
yeah.
That's insane.
It almost saved me mentally. Like, I was at the lowest point of my life.
Oh my God.
I remember that morning when I got up, I was like, I'm not going to work. I'm calling in sick today.
You finished one career and you're doing another one.
I know. I don't think she realized how big it was. She's like, "Kitte chala go shooting te?" She goes, "Tu kyun goli marni?" Couple of no, I can't talk about that. I don't want, because I'm not giving away anything about the show at all.
I feel like we got one little spoiler.
Which one?
Hi everyone, and welcome to Jugni with Prabhleen. I'm Prabhleen, and I am so excited for this episode. I got the chance to sit down with Sachin Mahashi, also known as Sunny. Funny enough, he also plays Sunny on the show Late Bloomer. Guys, I had so much fun filming this episode. Sunny is the funniest, most entertaining person ever. Like, I had my friend helping me behind the scenes, and she was dying trying not to laugh so the mic wouldn't pick it up. He also has so much dimension. He's lived like so many lives already, so he had a lot of great advice to give. We talked about his creative journey, his approach to acting, life on set, and so much more, including season 2 of Late Bloomer, which is streaming now on Crave TV, so make sure you check that out. But you're in for a treat, so get comfortable, grab a snack, just, don't choke, and let's get into the episode.
Yeah, go
I'm
for it.
so excited to do this.
Why?
I feel like there's so much that people don't know about you.
Yeah, it's on purpose.
Yeah, I guess it's by design, but now we
Yeah.
get to expose you.
That's cool.
Welcome to Jugni, Sunny.
Thanks.
Or Sachin, right?
Yeah, I like Sunny.
You like Sunny?
Yeah.
Okay. But is it pronounced Sachin or Sachin?
Yeah, Sachin.
Sachin.
Yeah.
Okay, Sachin.
That's not even my real name either.
What is your real name?
I don't give out my government. My real name, no one's ever called me by. So when I was born, my Masi wanted to name me Sachin.
Okay.
And my dad, for some reason, I don't know if he had something against her, he decided to pick a different name.
Yeah.
But nobody ever called me that name that he picked. Like, everyone would just call me Sachin.
You have like so many, what are they called? Aliases?
Yeah.
You have so many aliases.
Yeah, you have to.
In this industry, in this business?
No, just in life in general. You should have a bunch. No one should know your real government name.
Yeah.
And you should not have your real address on your driver's license.
Really?
Why are you going to tell the government where you go to sleep?
What are they going to do if they know that?
You just never know. What if you get in trouble one day and they're looking for you? Now they know exactly where to find you.
Well, what if you are in trouble and you need to be found? Like, what if you need help?
Well, then you call in and give an address, right?
Call in. You can't call in. If you needed help, you could have called somebody else.
I got to rethink this.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
So wait, Sunny is a nickname though.
Yeah.
Who gave you that nickname?
I did.
You just chose it?
Yeah. So in like 2015, I had a convenience store in Brampton.
We haven't gotten into this, but I feel like you have lived many lives already.
Yeah. So I had a convenience store in Brampton. And then once again, I didn't want everyone, so I just had to come up with a nickname.
Yeah.
So I just came up with Sunny. And then that's what I started telling everyone there. And then basically everyone who I met from that convenience store, it was like in the Subji Mandi Plaza, which is like Ray Lawson and McLaughlin. It's like right at the heart of Brampton.
Oh my God.
It was a Daisy Mart.
Is that near College Plaza, the Sheridan one?
Yeah, it's not far from there.
Yeah.
So I had that from, I'm going to say 2014 to 2016-ish.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And then the character, just by chance, was named Sunny. So it worked out.
But okay. Hold up. Because I went through your filmography and you almost always play Sunny.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because even in another one, you're playing a character whose name is Sachin's dad.
Yes.
And your name is Sunny.
I know. It was all by chance. That's why as soon as...
There's no way that was all by chance.
I swear to God.
So you had no input, like even in Late Bloomer, like you didn't choose...
Zero input.
Did they look at you and decide on the name, or was it already decided?
It was already decided. So what happened is they put out their request for auditions, and one of my friends sent it to me, Darshan. He goes, "Hey, you should audition for this." And then I went onto their page and I wrote, "You found your Sunny, stop your search," or something like that. I don't remember the exact verbiage, right? And then Chaps, which is Ricky, hit me up, and he's like, "Yo, send in your audition tape." but I was busy. So I didn't send in my audition tape.
Yeah.
And the deadline passed.
Yeah.
So then he messaged me again. He goes, you didn't send in your tape, dude. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I was busy. And he goes, okay, well, can you send it in?
Wow.
So then I did the tape. I sent it in.
So you were sought after is what you're saying.
No, I don't think so. I think just because I wrote that, he wanted to maybe see, like, but I'd never met him at this point.
Yeah.
So then I sent in my audition tape, and then they emailed back, and then I did a Zoom call. And then coincidentally, it was like a very low time in my life personally. And there was a whole bunch of stuff going on that I don't talk about because it's depressing. But all of a sudden, this shows up. I do the audition, and then I get the role. And then they gave me the role in like mid-Feb, and we started shooting in like middle of March.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't really even have time to like I didn't have time to absorb that this just happened.
Yeah.
And I didn't meet Ricky or Jasmeet until I went in for, we went in for a table read. So there was like a week or two before we actually started shooting. Yeah. Is when I first met him. But a lot of people ask me, they go, oh, were you guys friends? I'm like, first of all, they're artists. They're not going to give a role to someone because they're a friend.
Yeah.
They're going to find the person that they thought was the best.
Yeah.
So for me, initially when I first got it, I started getting this imposter syndrome thing. And I started getting nervous. Like, why did I get it? Why did I get it? And then one of my friends told me, he never says anything smart. And then this is like the only time he's ever said anything smart. Yeah. And he basically said, dude, they picked you. Yeah. Like there's a reason they picked you. So just go there and be yourself. Yeah. So I don't even think I act really.
Well, so you said, which I see, to be honest, is that people tell you that you're pretty much playing yourself in most of your roles.
Everyone who watches it goes, dude, you're not even acting. Yeah. Like this is exactly what you do in real life. All these like stupid things. That's like, because when you get a script and you start reading it through and then you're like, oh, what's the character motivation? All this other stuff they tell you you're supposed to look at. Yeah. I've never read a Sunny dialogue in season 1 or 2 where I was like, why would he do this? Every time I read it, I was like, yeah, this makes complete sense. I would do this. I'd even go further and do this and that as well, right? So it's like playing that character was literally, I had to just rewind myself 10 years ago and then just put it on a little bit of steroids. So it was like kind of meant to be. And then there's a lot of crossover. So like we're involved in the perfume business. Sunny sprays perfume around on the show and everything. And then when Jasmeet found that out, he goes, what the hell? I'm like, you didn't know that? Yeah. He's like, no, like, because the script's written beforehand. Yeah. So there was a lot of stuff in the script when he'd find out, he'd be like, what the hell? Like, this is, your character does this in the show too. And I'm like, I know. So it was like kind of meant to be.
So they made the right decision, and then imposters, your friend was right, basically.
No, but here's the thing with acting and with that script is like, and I told Jasmeet this once, and they were like, no, you got to give yourself a bit of credit here too, right? I was like, that character, I don't think it mattered who played it. I think that character is written to be funny. And like that, I think that character would have been appreciated regardless of who played it.
Well, no, I disagree with that because funny is hard to do. And that character is very specific. Like the fact that you looked at the script and you were like, I understand why he did what he did. You need that kind of background to play him properly because he is very niche. Like that specific Brampton man, that specific, like you need to have lived that to be able, you don't necessarily have to need to have lived it. I lived in Brampton
for a while.
But what I mean is like you need to be able to put yourself in those shoes to do it. And also comedy is not easy.
Comedy's not.
Yeah. Easy. And that is a talent in itself. And like, especially comedy involves a lot of intelligence.
Yeah, I can see that. And honestly, the people that I find really funny are the people that do intelligent, like dad jokes. So like if you can take a dumb
dad
joke,
jokes.
Yeah, same with me. All my friends know like the worst.
They're the best.
Yeah, but if you can take like a dumb dad joke, but kind of have enough intelligence behind it where they know that, okay, this guy's playing dumb right now. Yeah. That's my favorite thing to do is play dumb.
My point is that not just anybody could have played Sunny.
But I mean, I'm not going to blow my own horn here, but yeah, you're probably right.
Right? Because I watched your other things and like, I get what people are saying because especially Late Bloomer, I think like when they meet you in person, I think it's like you don't have a different voice. Right? Yeah. Like, and your mannerisms aren't that different. Same. Right?
The spin around, there's a funny story about the spin around.
Which spin around?
When they first show me in Late Bloomer and I'm sitting there at the bottom, and then I spin around and then start talking
and then
it just said I was supposed to turn around. right? I don't have the core strength I used to have. So I was trying to time it where I was get up and turn around, and I couldn't. Like, I couldn't lift my body up, right? So I'm sitting there and they're like, okay, you know, you got to start turning around after this dialogue. I was like, cool. But like my shoulder's in the shot, so I couldn't like struggle into it.
Yeah.
So I just tried the spin. And then, then when I ended the spin, Ahmed, who plays Neil, and just Meet started laughing. So they had to cut. But he's like, yo, keep that spin in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I only did it because I can't. I don't have the core strength to get up. And then all my friends afterwards were like, that spin was the funniest part of that scene.
I wish I brought it and we could just replay all of that and rewatch it.
Yeah. No,
wait,
it was just like a
that's
straight
another
spin.
thing. So you said you don't watch yourself.
No.
Why is that?
People will walk up to me and say, well, we loved your character. You did a good job. But I feel like if I start watching myself, I'm going to analyze what I do and the mannerisms and everything. And then I'm going to start going, oh, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll have that in my head the next time we do a shot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, if people are appreciating it already, why would I mess with it? A. B, it's kind of weird to see yourself.
It's weird.
Yeah, like
it's
big
weird.
Time weird.
It messes with you. Even me, like I make content and I see myself all the time. I'm like, this is too much.
And the voice, you start going, I don't sound like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you do sound like that. Because I was reading up on it. The reason why you sound different to yourself is because your voice is reverbing through your jaw, and it's giving a deeper tone. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But I also think that for me, with my voice, it's like, I know in certain situations it goes higher. And like, I feel like I don't have control over it. Like it's subconscious, but sometimes I'm like, why am I talking so high? Like I do not, or why am I talking so low? I sound like a man. Yeah.
But see, the thing is, once you start getting in your head like that, that's when you're in trouble. And that's why I don't watch it. Because if I started watching it, I'd get in my own head. Yeah. And then it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah. So how do you then decide on what you want to change or like improve on when you're doing? Is it just like as you do them and like the director's notes and things like that?
Yeah, I just wait till like Peter or just Meet and them tell me. Yeah. And then sometimes like they'll say, hey, let's try it again, but do it this way or do it that way. Yeah. So I just take their feedback and do it. And then once they're happy with the shot, I know and I'll add a line here and there when I can. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Like shooting that show is one of those things where right from the moment you get there, and for me, I thought all TV was this way. I'm like, this is the greatest thing in the world. And then a lot of people on set are like, no, dude, it's just like the team is that good. Yeah. Because a lot of shows aren't like this. Yeah. But like from the moment you get there, from the person who greets you to the person who, like the makeup people, like every single person, like if I start naming names, we'll be here all day. But like everyone you deal with there is just so good. Yeah. Like that you feel like it doesn't feel like work. So my whole life I've owned businesses, I've had a job. Yeah. Even when it's my own business, I've clock watched. Yeah. I just thought that's what you do when you're working, right? You look, okay, I got an hour left, right? If I go on set, I could be there 8-9 hours. And then when they're like, okay, it's a wrap for you. I'm like, what, already? What? And then I don't even know what time it is.
That's really cool though, to be able to have a job like that and to be able to get to that point in your life where you're like, I didn't even feel the time pass. Yeah, it's like it just sometimes I get in trouble because my shot's done and then you're supposed to go back to your trailer because they're trying to like organize everything for the next shot. Yeah. And I'll just stay on set. Yeah. And I'll just watch the next shot. I like seeing them set up. I like seeing everything happening. I'll stand behind the monitor. Yeah. I'll bother the DOP. Like Gail's the best, but I'll bother her. I'll bother everybody. And then one time this season when it was the last day of shoot, they couldn't find me. And then they started calling me and I'm supposed to leave for my shot. Yeah. And I forgot to check the time. And I had my phone on silent because I'm on set. And then all of a sudden I check my phone. I have like 8 missed calls. I have texts from like production. Where are you? This isn't cool, dude. Like we're trying to find you at the trailer. And I was like, oh crap. And then I had to run out. I love being on set, period. Yeah. Like if I could just stay there all day for 12 hours, I would do it. You know what's really funny? I like the story of your premiere, the premiere story that you had. That was hilarious.
Yeah. So I forgot that it was the premiere that day. Yeah. Just because I forget sometimes what day of the week it is. And I was walking around with a hoodie on and my jeans. And then I got a text saying, hey, so the premiere is at this time. And then I showed up in my hoodie and jeans. Which is so perfect for your character. That's what Just Meet said. The second he saw me, he looked me up and down. And in my shirt, my hoodie said cream on it. But instead of casuals, everything around me was with a K. And it said Kalyug rules everything around me. That was my hoodie.
Are you
And
serious?
I swear to God, I was wearing black jeans.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was wearing black jeans with a Kalyug rules everything around me hoodie.
Oh my goodness.
And a second I walked in, just looked me up and down. He's like, yeah, this is totally
tracks.
something Sunny would wear. I was like, yeah.
So why do you end up being surprised when people are like, you're just playing yourself?
I don't know. But it was funny that actually the highlight of that for me was meeting Raf Safara. And I've met him once or twice more since then, but he's like, that's my favorite singer by far.
Because his song was in Late
Yes.
Bloomer. Yeah.
Yeah, so I met him there. And then when he had his concert here, I got to talk to him a bit at the after party too. But he's like nicest dude. And he's like a great kalakar. And I feel like he doesn't get the respect he deserves because he's not Jat.
I didn't even know he wasn't Jat.
But I think our community does that stupidness where he's like, I think right now, pound for pound, the best Punjabi singer out there. Period.
I mean, debatable. I have my opinions. But I like Raf.
Who do you like? Babu Man?
The best Punjabi singer like alive out there, like making music right now.
You could say it.
I take this so seriously. This is like my reputation is on the line.
You don't have to say the best. You can say one of the best.
I would like, I have a top 5 and I'm going to say this name because I think that he's a good writer. And he understands how to make hits. That doesn't mean that his music necessarily has a crazy amount of substance.
Well, I know who you're about to say.
Karnajla.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a kind of undeniable.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a Karnojla song I didn't like.
It's hard to. He's a Geetandi machine. And I think Shub is really good.
Yeah, Shub's good.
I think Shub's really good.
He's really good, yeah.
And I think Wazir is really good. You've heard it. Yeah, come on.
Probably. I guess I'm not good with names.
Yeah, you might. Yeah.
For me, I'd say Raf Safara. I'll give you Karnojla. Diljit's in there.
Diljit's without saying, yeah.
Gurdas Man's in there.
Okay. Yeah, good last one.
Oh, man. It is hard to try to round it off because there's so many people that I want to put in the 5th position.
So wait, this is in order?
Yeah.
Oh, mine was not in order.
Oh, mine's in order.
Okay, so the Late Bloomer set is very different from all the other sets that you've been on, right? Because I looked through your filmography and that was probably like the first larger production that you worked on.
It's the first real, like, quote unquote, real production I've been a part of. Everything else was like shoestring budget. We have a day to shoot.
Yeah.
We're doing it in this person's house and that person. This is the first set I've been on where like they're constructing things.
Yeah.
So like everything's built on set. And then you walk in through a door and all of a sudden you're in a house.
Yeah.
And it like blows your mind.
Yeah.
And like everything in there, like I would constantly be like, my mind's blown. Holy crap. And then something else would happen. I'd be like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I was kind of fanboying over just me because I watched his videos, right? Like
we all did.
Yeah. I was like probably one of the older guys watching his videos, but I was still dying when they came out. Yeah. And then that's when everyone's like, he's got a show. I'm like, I'm gonna audition for this. And I think I said this during my audition, whether I get it or not, cool, but I'm just glad he's back. And I'm gonna look forward to watching the show. Yeah. And to get to be a part of it was just, and like all the other actors too, like Swenya, the one who plays Chippy, Ashley, the parents. Atwal Uncle scares me.
Does he play the dad?
Yeah. Nicest man in the world.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with him, everything. It's just something like every time I'm around him.
Have you been watching him on TV? Like growing up?
Yes. Yeah. I think that's why. Because he has such an authoritative voice that every time I'd like go around him, I get like nervous. I have no idea why.
I thought he would bring more comfort to like see him there.
He does, but it's just
it's a dad comfort. It's a scary comfort.
Yeah. It's like I don't know what to like, but every time he's there, I'm like, I usually say whatever I want on set, but every time he's there, I like watch my mouth. I more well behaved. Like he scares me for some reason.
That's the secret.
But he's the nicest guy.
Yeah. If they need help, they need to bring him on.
Straight up. But like all the actors there, we all get along well.
Yeah.
Like it was just, it's hard to put into words how it felt shooting both the seasons.
In comparison to the other work that you've done, what do you feel like was one thing you actually miss? Is there anything you actually miss about
All our productions?
the smaller production? There is a certain kind of like camaraderie and having a smaller production, and like, and you know, you have to do everything together and you guys are always problem solving and you kind of bond in that way. But also I noticed that you have writer credits and you have production credits on those others. So you have a little bit more influence on what direction the story goes in.
Yeah, that's probably something, but I don't know if I missed that. That was a lot of responsibility.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like people would come up to you and ask you questions. You'd be like, I don't know. Go ask someone else. Like, you know, why you asking? I don't know. I'm just trying to do this shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's one of those things where I loved writing. I'm not good at writing in script format.
Okay.
So even where I have writing credits, I didn't actually type any of that out.
Yeah.
I just sit there while everyone else is writing and like say, hey, maybe the guy says this.
You're good at just, you know, directing, giving.
Yeah. At Late Bloomer, I think they give you a lot of, like, Just Me gives you creative control.
Okay.
So if there's a line that I want to add somewhere, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna add this, and I'll be like, okay, go ahead.
What about like improving?
Yeah, we've done that.
Nice.
Yeah, he allows it. So we'll have our clean take, and then he'll be like, okay, this one, let's just do whatever, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And we do that. So you have that creative control there. I do maybe miss the fact that it's just really big, and you get lost a lot.
In like mentally or physically lost?
Everywhere.
Yeah. Like
sometimes you're walking around, and then you're like too busy looking at everything, and then you don't remember where you're supposed to be at that moment. I get lost a lot.
I see.
Yeah, they would. Yeah. I remember when I'd leave set, like there would be people that'd be like, yo, 5 minutes, you better be back here. We're going to find that. Because I would just wander off and then remember that, oh my God, we're shooting.
Yeah. You're like, I'm actually at work.
Yeah, it's like, because it doesn't feel like it. But I think the scale of it makes it feel a little daunting compared to a small project. Whereas a smaller project, it's such a small scale. But at the same time now, because I'm union, I can't really do the small projects anymore because it's not unionized.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that happened like during Late Bloomer and after, when my friends were like, hey, we should do this. Or we should do that. And they're like, I don't think I can. And then I started looking into it, and it's like, you can get an exception, but also right now, I think I'm just going to kind of stick to Late Bloomer. I retired recently from my job in December. So I'm going to focus a lot more on acting.
Okay.
But I have to get an agent first, because apparently that's important.
You actually worked in the industry, or you worked in a different industry, like completely different industry.
Completely different.
So I don't think this is unique. And I was telling my friend this while we were driving here. Every South Asian creative has a odd, weird journey to finding their way to whatever their creative pieces or whatever they want to work on. So tell me about your creative journey. How did it begin?
So with me, it all started when I was 5. No, it is true though. I remember when I was 5, the only thing I'd watch on TV at that point was cartoons, right?
Yeah.
And then my dad rented a VCR.
Mm-hmm.
Like those video cassette recorders.
Yeah.
Some people don't know what a VCR is.
I think you think I'm younger than I am.
Okay. So he rented a VCR. We used to live in Calgary, and he rented 3 movies. I think one of them was Naseeb. So this was like around 1982-ish.
Okay.
And he put them on. I'd never seen an Indian movie before. And all of a sudden the movie started, and I'm like, what is this? Like the colors, the over the top everything, like songs. Like I was like, I didn't really fully understand it.
Yeah.
But I was like, so drawn to it.
Yeah.
And then after that, every weekend he would rent a VCR and 3 movies, and I would just sit there and watch them all. And then I started getting into like Hindi movies. And then that was my start. And they were so over the top. Like then I watched a Hollywood movie once, and I'm like, this sucks. Like, where's the songs? And my dad's like, there's no songs in this. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And the colors aren't vibrant, and like this is serious. Like, you know, the other movie, somebody jumped off a roof and kicked someone in the head. Like that was way more fun.
Yeah.
So then me and my sister my younger sister, we started like making scripts.
Oh.
And our first one we did was this movie called Ye Doodh. I have no idea what it was about.
Ye Doodh?
Yeah, it was about nothing. Like we just
milk?
Yeah. So we kind of loosely wrote this script in our head, and then we would act out scenes, and like we were both like, even though she was a girl, we were brothers in that movie. She was a cop, and I was this, like, it was like a very Indianish movie, right?
Yeah.
And we would have fun and like just act. I think it was escapism because it was a tough childhood. So we would kind of create our own little alternative reality. So that kind of stayed. And then the love for movies stayed. When it came time to get into university, of course, it's like you can't go home and say, I'm going to do film.
Yeah.
Right?
Not in a brown household.
No, hell no.
Especially at the time that you...
Exactly.
Because that was what, like early 90s?
Yeah. And then also like my dad had passed away. So then like my mom was kind of relying on me to start making money. And then it's like, oh, well, by the way, Mom, I'm never become an actor.
Because you're the oldest son, right?
I'm the only son. Yeah. And then I have 3 sisters. So then I did university, graduated, started working. And then like 7 or 8 years in, I met up with this guy, Harminder Phul and Imran Ansari.
Yeah,
they're the guys who've done the movies with me.
Yeah.
So I met them on Facebook, I think. I just made like this film group of who's interested in film. And these guys are like, oh, we're writers. And I'm like, oh, I have some ideas.
Yeah.
Then we started meeting at my house. We started writing. So there was always something there for me to do.
Yeah.
That kind of satisfied that
itch.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if late bloomer never happened, I would still probably keep doing little things like that, especially now that I have the time.
Yeah.
It just started right there with those Hindi movies. And then I was like, yo, I want to be involved in this. Like, this feels like it's amazing. And it's like, you can watch something on screen that's rehearsed and scripted, and it can still like pull all these feelings and emotions out of you. Right.
Exactly.
So like, it just feels real.
Yeah.
And then from then onwards, like I said, even like Hollywood movies, I watch them.
Yeah.
But Bollywood's my favorite.
Is it?
Yeah.
So do you count like Punjabi movies as Bollywood?
No, Punjabi movies are their own thing, but I love them too.
Okay.
I want to do a movie with Babbu Maan. That's my dream project. Like,
I love Babbu Maan.
Yeah, if anyone ever says like, what's your dream project? I have 2. I want to do a movie with Babbu Maan. I don't care if I'm in there for one scene.
Yeah.
And I want to get killed by John Wick.
Okay.
But I don't think John Wick's doing movies. I don't think they're going to do another one anymore.
I think those are great dream projects.
Yeah. Like just killed by him. I don't even want a dialogue. Like I want to just walk up to him and then have him just murder me on screen.
Just like, you don't even want your screen time really. You just...
he kills me.
Yeah, kills you. Straight.
Stabs me with a pencil in the neck and be like, Mom, I made it. Look at that. Keanu Reeves just killed me.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I really relate to that, you saying that like you would be doing it no matter what. Because I feel like I'm the same way. Like I have a perfectly stable career, and my mom's like, why are you doing this? And I'm just like, Mom, like, I don't know. I can't stop. Like,
you have to.
The free time I have, that's what I want to be doing. I'm not getting paid for it, and I'm doing it. And if I'm getting paid for it, I'd still be doing it. You know, like
I didn't get paid for it until late bloomer, and everything else I was doing, I was paying out of pocket to do it. But it's like one of those things where like once you have that, the kida, I want to say, for lack of a better term.
No, that's great.
You have to feed that kida occasionally, or else you start feeling like you're useless.
Yeah. It's like your soul needs to be fed.
Yeah. That's actually a really good way of putting it.
But I feel like that's why the name is Jugni. Jugni in Sufi poetry, it means like a wandering soul, like the spirit of life. And they're just like going through life and that's what I felt like I really resonated with, was that whole spirit of just like, no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to be doing this because I am drawn to it. I'm always pulled to it. So I might as well just accept that I'm going to be doing this.
And that's the thing. A lot of people give up when they don't see anything. Like, it's like, well, dude, you have to do it because you love doing it.
Yeah. Literally.
And then things will happen.
Yes.
If you're doing it to get popular, or if you're doing it because you want to make a lot of money and stuff like that, your chances are going to be low.
Yeah.
If you just keep doing it and you keep doing it for a long time, eventually something happens.
Yeah. Because the authenticity, it comes through. Like people can feel that.
Yeah. And I think the universe starts conspiring and saying, okay, you know what? This guy, he's not stopping.
Yeah.
Let's throw him a bone. You know what I'm trying to say?
That was late bloomer, your bone?
Yeah, I think so. Because I'm telling you, it was like, I was at the lowest point of my life.
Oh my God.
I remember that morning when I got up, I was like, I'm not going to work. I'm calling in sick today.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just pissed off for some reason. And then I went to the washroom and I checked my phone. I checked my emails, and it was the offer from them. And I didn't even read it. I just kind of said, okay, yeah, I'm doing it. But I didn't read how much I was getting paid. Nothing. I was like, okay, I need this. I need to do this. I told Jasmeet that too once. I was like, yo, it's like, it almost saved me mentally.
Really?
Yeah, like physically I would have still been around, but mentally it saved me.
But mentally is what matters. Who cares if you're physically here if you're not mentally here?
If you're not mentally here, you might as well not even be physically here.
Literally. I read a comment where you said that you prefer to do serious roles over comedy.
Yeah.
So that's something that I feel like people would find surprising about you.
Yeah. See, the thing is, and I've said this before, and people are like, yeah, but because even the short film I did, The Sun, when people watch that, they're like, dude, that wasn't funny at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not a comedy.
I know.
It's supposed to be funny, right?
Yeah.
So, but they're like, we thought when you told us you made a short film, we thought it was going to be funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but then that doesn't feel like acting to me.
Because you're playing yourself?
Yes, kind of, right? Like, so, like when I'm in a serious role, like in Sun, I play an alcoholic that abuses his wife and his kid.
Yeah.
That's acting. I don't have a wife. I don't have a kid.
Yeah.
And if I did, I probably wouldn't abuse him. But but like that's acting. Like that felt like acting, right? So that's why I prefer serious roles. But now when I've after season 2 of Late Bloomer, it's kind of starting to hit that even though it's comedy, this character is a different person. Like it's not me, and I still get to act as this character, right? So I don't know if I still have that same viewpoint, but there was a time when I was like, yeah, I don't want to do comedy, man. Like and comedy's hard. It's hard to make people laugh. Like laughing is one of those things where like there's no joke out there that's universally considered funny.
I feel like farting is a universally funny joke.
Yeah, I love farting.
Right.
But then
the act of it or the joke?
The whole thing. But I was lactose intolerant.
No.
Yeah. So it's a true story.
Know where this is going.
Yeah. So I found out around a year ago because I started cutting it out. And then I started losing weight after I started cutting it out. And then I realized I don't fart as much as I used to anymore, which kind of sucks because it's like removing a superpower. But also it turns out I wasn't even chubby. I was just bloated for my whole life.
Dairy is very bloating.
Yeah, it is very bad for you.
Yeah.
And then one of my best friends is vegan. He owns a vegan restaurant too. So the more and more I'm starting to get towards it. So I've cut out dairy completely.
I think we know the restaurant. Hawker?
Yeah.
We love Hawker.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. We just went like December, January. We just went. Yeah.
No way. Let me know next time. That's Darshan's restaurant.
Is it?
Yeah.
We literally took Shamo's mom there because she loves cooking and all. So we all love food, and we just sat there and we just ate everything. And we're like, okay, so what did they put in here? And we're just like trying to figure out what they put.
The way they do it, it's him and this guy Jeff. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Jeff does a lot of the dishes, but they've got new dishes that they just started a week ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so we need to go back.
Yeah, but next time you go, let me know.
Okay.
And then I'll like get you guys a rezo in there.
You're
like,
the vegan restaurant rezo plug?
Yeah, we're there. Like I'm there probably once or twice a week. We're walking around because we live close to there too. It's like a 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
Which is like a decent walk. But
for a Toronto person, that's not bad.
No.
20 minutes is like fun.
Some days I do like 25,000 steps.
Yeah. When I used to live downtown, I had my dog. It's just me and him. We're just hanging out. We're walking around everywhere. And I get like 10 errands done.
Yeah.
And I get my steps in.
Yeah. And it's healthy.
Yeah.
You're not downtown anymore?
No, not. Back in Brampton. Back in the ends.
What part of Brampton?
By Georgetown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I used to be at Mississauga Road in Beauvert. I was on Ashbyfield Road.
Stop. Wait, really?
35. I was there I bought that house new in 2007 and I moved out in 2016 or 2015.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, so that's my Brampton, like when people say
your Brampton era.
Yeah. So that's where I draw a lot of Sunny stuff on the Brampton era. But I remember the first time I moved to Brampton, I was talking to people. It's like they were singing.
What do you mean singing?
Like when you talk to someone from Brampton, you'd be like, yo, bro, what's going on? You'd be like, yo, what are you saying? And you'd be like, what just happened? You know what I mean?
She's dying.
You know what I'm talking about though, right? Like they'd be like, yo, dog, what are you saying? And you'd be like, huh? Like, and then because I was my younger cousins that lived there at the time, and I'd be like, dude. Then I made a lot of students became my friend when I owned the convenience store, and then now people are like turning on them, right? And
yeah,
we kind of address that situation in season 2. But what pisses me off the most is, okay, so you have all these students here. I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant here. Sorry,
go off.
They're drinking, they're partying. Guess what? Can I swear?
Yeah. I mean, I might bleep it out, but go off.
Yeah. So they're partying, they're drinking, they're in university and college. That's what you do at that age. That's what we did at that age.
Exactly.
I remember doing Pangra in York University Student Center, and all the brown guys I was with were all Canadian born.
Yeah.
Right? And now those same guys are like, students this, students that. I'm like, dude, you don't remember what we used to do?
Yeah.
The only difference is we could keep it on campus because there were spots to live on campus.
Yeah.
So now the reason why people are getting all bent out of shape, the students are doing what they're supposed to do. They're enjoying themselves. They're partying. These are the years you do that. And then you're going to work for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If anything, they work harder than the kids that were born here work.
Yeah. They work and party.
Exactly.
At the same time.
Exactly. And then everyone's like, oh, they're driving nice. That's their own money.
Exactly.
They can do whatever they want. And then no one is saying anything to the government that allowed that situation to happen, first of all, with a bunch of them coming in, A. B, the fact that the colleges that are charging exorbitant fees are not building any places on residences for these students.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening? The students move to the residential neighborhood that's closest to the college.
Exactly.
Now they're going to party and have fun because they're students.
Yeah.
And now the people that live in that area that have to go to work the next morning are like, oh, no, but no one is pointing a finger at like Sheridan College and saying, hey, there's an acreage of empty land here.
Yeah.
You're charging these kids 14, 15 grand a year.
Yeah.
Why haven't you built any residence apartments?
I swear they charge way more than 14, 15 grand.
Or whatever it is.
No, like international students especially,
Yeah,
they pay
20.
like double what we, like normal students.
And then it's like Conestoga College, same thing in Kitchener.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have all this land. They've benefited probably the most from international students.
Yeah.
And they have the least amount of residence spaces available.
Yeah.
So like, and then where's our government forcing these colleges that have made hundreds of millions of dollars off these students to say, hey, you've made all this money. You can let international students. Great. It's good revenue for you. But for every international student you let in, 30% you need to have residence spaces for those students. Because where are they going to live? And then they live in the residential neighborhoods. Yeah. And when they party on Thursday, Friday night, everyone gets mad at them.
But you're right, because any other university like residential area is taken over by the students. Like if you go 100%. To like Ottawa U or you go to any other like campus here, like all the residential houses are frat houses or the only difference is these are brown people.
Yeah. So people don't like seeing us doing that.
Yeah.
But like if you like go to the same neighborhood and you saw a bunch of non-brown people partying, everyone, they're university kids, let them have a good time. Yeah. And then the worst part is our community is the worst. We're the worst
at protecting ourselves.
Yeah. We like forget everyone else looking at us with hate. Mm-hmm. We look at us with hate. Yeah. Like the ones who came here and were born here look at them like they're less of. Yeah. And it's like, dude, no, they're not. Like some of the hardest working, nicest people I've ever met are international students. Yeah. Are 4 or 5% of them a problem? Yeah. Are 4 or 5% of the people that live here a problem? Yeah. Yeah. Like it's just like regular ratios, dude. There's not a huge problem coming from them.
Yeah. I think like the only other thing is that there's just cultural differences.
Yeah, right? And that takes a while.
Yeah, and that's normal with any immigration population that moves anywhere. Like, look at New York. Look at when the Italians first came. Like, it happens everywhere.
My mom has stories about my uncles and my dad and them when they first got here and the stupid shit they used to do because culturally they didn't know that this wasn't accepted. But the difference was back in those days, the community would tell you that. Yeah. Like, and I've always wanted to be a part of something like this, but where's us with our outreach to sit with them and say, hey guys, this is what's culturally acceptable here. This is kind of frowned upon. Nobody's telling them that. Yeah. They don't have parents here.
No, and that's the other thing. I feel like when you were saying, oh, like the Punjabis here are the ones like criticizing them and doing all of that. Like, I find that a lot of those kids were brought here by their parents. Yeah. And they don't understand how much harder it is. And 1000%. Like these people need to find community for themselves. 1000%. And if this is how they're finding community, this is how they're finding community because they don't have parents to rely on.
They don't have any elder. And then when they do see elder, they just start making fun of them for wearing chappala. It's like, bro, you grew up wearing chappala in the parent. Now you're going to laugh at these guys for wearing chappala. First of all, chappala are comfy.
Don't love chappala.
I love the sound, that click, 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 click.
No, you'd ask anybody all summer long. As soon as it's possible for me to go outside with my chappala, that's it.
Yeah, me too. I'll pair with my chappala. I was in Thailand. I chappaled all over the place over there.
That sounds like a perfect place to chappal.
The greatest country. You know, one thing it made me realize is that we get lied to here a lot.
About what the East is like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we almost like get told that they're third world, quote unquote, and we're like advanced. And then you go there and say, no, we suck.
This is so off topic, but I actually recently went to a event at the ROM, at the Royal Ontario Museum.
Okay.
And because, you know, they're dedicating an entire section of the museum to South Asian
Really?
arts. Yeah. And they're doing a whole thing for Sikh arts, for Janam Sakhi, like Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Like
Well, I'm going to that.
Yeah. So it's going to take a while because it's under construction and stuff, but they started doing programming, right? Where they're going to have events and things like that. So I went to one and this is the entire topic. He was showing us these like stereographs or whatever. And they're like these pictures. And it was Gore going to these countries like somewhere in like the Middle East, India, places like that. And they were orchestrating and directing these photographs. So like, for example, there's like a kid farming the land in India, right? They had the machinery, the advanced machinery that they had in the West, but they would make them take like an old like way of farming, some old tool or something, and they would make them stand there to like, and they would direct the whole thing. And then the photographs that you see of like Paris and whatever, it's all clean roads.
Yeah,
everyone's dressed nicely.
They get that nice angle.
Middle
out
class.
Of it.
Yeah. They would have artists go there to paint what it looks like, and they would make them paint the buildings as broken down and rugged. When you go and see the buildings, funny, they're fine.
It's not funny, but isn't it hilarious? Kind of like. But that's how, like, even when I heard of Thailand, I thought it was going to be like.
So you're 100% right. Yeah. They are doing that, and they've been doing that for years.
Yeah, because you know why? Because they don't want us to realize that we're paying all our taxes and we still don't live the way we should. York University, when I started there in 1995 or 96, I don't remember.
That was before I was born.
Oh my God. Yeah, so when I started university before you were born, I remember there was a sign that said Subway coming soon. Not the sandwiches, like the actual Subway, right? Because they already had a Subway sandwich spot. But I was like, oh, great. So I was in first year. I'm like, by the time I'm in third year, there's going to be a Subway station that goes to York, right?
Yeah.
That thing didn't open until like 2010 or 2012. I had graduated. It was 10, 12 years after I graduated. Okay. And then New Delhi makes a subway like system with double or triple the amount of stops as Toronto in 8 years.
Yeah.
So it's like we're falling so far behind, and the only way they try to control the narrative, but they really can't anymore because now people are traveling. Yeah. And people are going to, like, I had a friend go to China and he told me, he goes, dude, it's like they're 100 years in the future. And the internet, like we have access to so many people and so much information now. It's like you can't, if you don't know that, you're choosing to be ignorant. Yes. But I still didn't know about Thailand until I landed. And then I was like, that's normal though, because you were raised here. Yeah. The cars are nice. Like all the buildings are nice. The people are nice. Yeah. So like I'm actually going to start living 2 or 3 months of the year there, and then 2 or 3 months of the year in the Bend. And then I'll be here for the summers only because I can't. Perfect. Yeah. The winters here suck. I just can't do it anymore, man. Did you see the weather today? Last night it was snowing. I know. I heard. I in a basement. Slept through it. Yeah, I slept through it. I have no windows in my room. That explains a lot. Yeah. I just shut the door and then like, I don't know what time of day it is or anything like that. It's great. So how did your parents feel about you doing short films and like pursuing this on the side while you worked full time? Oh, by that point, like my mom was, she was cool with it. Because you had a job, you had your degree. Yeah. So wait, what was your degree again? I did civil engineering. Civil engineering from York. Damn, look at you. Planning. And then I used to work for a place where we did like warehouse design, and then we would sell forklifts and stuff. So I never worked on like a residential side of things. Okay. But so you were designing forklifts? No, we would design the warehouses, and then I was selling the forklifts that would go into the warehouse. And then pretty much anything material handling based. So we would do forklifts, we'd do the racking, we would do dock plates. So like we would set up your whole warehouse. Wow. And so you worked in the industry 25 years? Yeah. That's insane. Do you feel like there's anything that you take from your 25-year career when you're on set that you feel like actually like kind of transfers? When you're on set, it's very easy, not for me too, to everything seems fun, right? Yeah. And it's very easy to like just kind of think everything's fun in games, right? But then having a career, you start realizing what business is, right? And then in the end, it's a business. Yeah. So I think from my career, it's like just the ability, you have to lock in and you got to get rid of distractions, and you got to like, for me, I had problems when it was time to shoot the scene and I'd look around and there were like 30 people watching. Yeah. And then I remember the first time I was like, the first scene I shot, I was like, holy shit, is it gonna be like this all the time? And then I realized, dude, you do that work. You do presentations in front of 30 people.
Yeah.
So that's what I started treating it as, like, oh, it's a presentation.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to sell a forklift, I'm trying to sell this scene to these 30 people watching.
Yeah.
And then, so that, I remember like thinking right away that translated over so well. And I was like, if I never did presentations all the time at work, this would be really hard for me to do. Yeah. So that was probably the number one thing, I think.
That's really cool.
I know.
You finished one career and you're doing another one.
I know. The worst part is I retired. Now, that's not to say I'll never go back to the industry, but if I do go back, I'm only going to go back to the company I worked for because I love those guys, right? Yeah. But I don't plan on going back. Because it's one of those also, as you get older, you start realizing, so I'm not married. I don't have kids. So I can make money, but then to what end and who do I leave it to? Like, what's the point of it? You only need a certain amount to survive. And
you plan on never doing that? Never getting married, never having a family?
No, I think it's kind of too late.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a luxury as a man. You can do it whenever.
No, but see, yes and no. You don't want to have a kid and then you throw a baseball at him and your arm comes out of its socket. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, look at this, Buddha. Like, you don't want to be with your kid at the school and they're like, hey, your Baba's around the corner. He bought your lunch. You know what I'm trying to say? Plus, it's not fair to the kid because you're going to die when the kid's like maybe 20. You know what I mean? Like, you're basically setting, and then not only that, okay, if I ever meet, I shouldn't say never, if I ever meet a woman who is brilliant and smart enough that I know that together, just because of her, we're going to have an exceptional child. Yeah. Then I might consider it. Yeah. But for me, I know that my child's just going to be an average dude. He's just going to be like bumping into people and like doing stupid shit and breaking someone's heart. Like the world has a ton of average people. Wow. Yeah, we don't need to add to that average total. He's just going to be traffic. I'm just being 100% realistic.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, are you average if you're over here pursuing a second career and, you know...
No, I think
not necessarily average.
No, I think
so. Maybe that's the average man. Maybe the woman is.
For me, I don't take anything seriously, and then stuff just happens. But like, I think I told you that once. Yeah. Is the second my life started getting fixed, it's not great, but it's getting fixed. Yeah. Is the second I decided I'm not going to try to control shit anymore. Yeah. Whatever happens, happens. Like. Yeah. Now, I'll nudge things in certain directions, but the universe is experiencing itself through you. And if it wants to show you something, you look at it and you observe it. Yeah. And then once you just start kind of going with the flow, things just start working out. Also, I don't think I said son. I wouldn't want a son if I had a kid. I'd want a daughter. I'd probably just want one kid.
Yeah, a lot of guys say that.
Yeah. Well, because
it's like, so you also hate men.
Well, yeah, I think everyone does. That's the popular thing to do
nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think like just when I see my mom as she's getting older, and then the way like my sisters are with her. Yeah. And I try, but I can't give her the same support. Like, I think as a parent, when you're getting older, you're much better off if you have a daughter than if you have a son.
Oh, so it's about you.
100%. Well, that's the lens I have to see things through, right? When people say that kind of stuff, oh, that sounds very selfish. I'm like, dude, I can only see things through my own lens. Yeah. So in my lens, it's like if I did have a choice between the two, it would probably be a daughter.
Yeah, children are expensive. They're going to have to do something for you.
Yeah, and then dudes do dumb stuff too.
Yeah, they do.
Like crash your car and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, you're so right. You know what? Thanks. Yeah. I would get confused. I'm like, why do they always want a girl?
Yeah, that's why.
How did your parents react with Late Bloomer?
Oh, so my mom, when I got the show, I didn't tell her. Until like I think we started shooting. Okay. And then she's like, "Kitte chale go shooting te?" She goes, "Tu kyun goli marni?" And then no, she didn't say that. In my mind, she did. So then I was like, no, I got to roll on this TV show. So I don't think she realized how big it was. Yeah. Because she was just kind of like, oh. And then it was like a couple of weeks into shooting is when I showed her. I'm like, it's Just Rain, and she's like, who? And then I showed her the picture, and then my mom was like, eta jo YouTube the video aande hunde blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah. Then my mom's like, oh, can we come on set? And I'm like, no, families are allowed, even though they are allowed. Like everyone's family's been on set.
You just hate your mom?
No, I don't want to act in front of them.
Oh, honestly, yeah.
Yeah. Because Suenya's family came on set and it was like a very big like scene for her that day. There was a couple of scenes.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm like, it was like her mom and her sister and everyone. I was like, dude, how are you doing that? Like, if my mom and sister and them were here, I would choke. Yeah. I would not be able to act.
No, I know. I can't film. I can't film in front of my mom.
Oh, I'd feel weird.
Yeah.
But she killed it. So then that's why even to date, well, they'll probably find out if they see this podcast, but even if they're watching this podcast, my mom will not get this far in. No, she'll watch 2 minutes and then stop. Nothing against you or me. It's just her attention span.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. So they allowed family on set. Like I think almost everyone's family came on set, but then when mine asked, I said, no, it's not allowed.
Why don't you just have them come on set for a day that you're not on call? Like, on the shot list or whatever?
No, because then you have to then you're responsible for their happiness that day. No, you are. That's a lot of pressure.
That's your mother. She's responsible for you being here.
I know, but I don't know. I don't like that kind of stuff. And then you got to make sure they're walking around. Is everyone talking to them properly? Are they bored? And then knowing my mom, they'll be like, okay, quiet on set. And she'll start yelling something. I don't know. No, I'm not going to do that.
So what was her reaction when she found out how big it was?
She was very happy, but it wasn't until I think it actually came on TV.
Then set in for her, right?
Yeah. And then the first episode, I was kind of like, uh-oh. But she was totally cool with it.
The first episode is always. Even when I was thinking about showing Late Bloomer to my parents, because there's just so much there that I'm like, you could totally relate to or understand my perspective about things. You just skip the first episode, bro.
Yeah. I saw the first episode just because it was during the premiere.
Yeah.
But that's when I saw it. I was like, this is okay. My mom can watch this. She's watched worse. And then, she loved it. When the show came out, she loved it. Her favorite character on the show is Ahmed.
Oh, of course.
Neil. Yeah, my mom loves him. My mom goes, this and that. And she goes, he's so cute.
Yeah.
He's actually, that guy is extremely funny.
Is he?
Yeah, he does stand-up comedy.
Does he? I don't think I've seen any of his sets.
Dude.
There's a lot I got to watch. I actually spent some time stalking you.
Oh, where?
Where? On the internet, obviously. Because I was thinking, I'm looking at your filmography. There's a huge break. There's a 10-year break. And then you told me you were working and I'm like, okay, maybe it was because he was working. Then I was like, no, he was working.
I got married a couple of times in there too.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So you've tried it and that's why you know.
Yeah.
You're like, I've done it and it's not going to work.
No. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's them. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? But after the second one, you got to kind of start pointing at yourself. You know what I mean?
No, that's
the first one's a mulligan.
The first one's what?
A mulligan. You can do a redo. Well, it's a golf term.
Oh, it's a golf term.
I don't play golf. But so mulligan just means you get to reshoot. So you get to take another shot. And then I took another shot. And then now I got a letter from the Gurdwara and they said, you've hit your 8 lama maximum and you can't get married again. So I was like, what if I bring one of them here and walk the other way 4 times? I was not going to deduct it. And I think they're sending it to Kaltakt and they're going to see what they can do.
That's jokes, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So the 10-year gap.
Yeah.
Other than getting married and working, I realized that 10-year gap was actually filled by the YouTube channel that you are a part of.
Yeah.
I think it's called People of Community.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember, it's probably a little bit before your time, but Desi Comedy. They used to do the prank phone calls and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that was before. Yeah.
Yeah. So Darshan and those guys are Desi Comedy.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
So how that happened is Sun was in the Punjab International Film Festival. Mm-hmm. Then one of the guys on that podcast, Samit, so he told me, he said, hey, dude, we're starting a podcast.
Yeah.
We want you on as a guest.
Yeah.
So I came on as a guest.
Yeah.
And then I think 2 weeks after that, one of their guests canceled or something.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, do you want to come on again?
Yeah.
As a guest host?
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. And then I came on again. And then after that, they were like, okay, do you want to just come every week?
Mm.
And then I was like, cool. So then it was one of those, literally every week I got to shoot something and you're creative. I didn't feel the need to do a short film.
Yeah.
And then that podcast, all of us just became like good friends.
Yeah.
And it was to the point where like we weren't even doing a pod anymore. It was like we were just sitting there with the camera on and shooting the shit.
I listened to a couple episodes and you guys are just like kikiing.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask that YouTube channel and your friends, for people of the community, they were making content around the same time Jasmeet was.
Yeah.
And it's very similar content too. So what I was wondering was like, you know, if you had worked on a lot of those skits and doing that, did you see that kind of crossover when you were working on Late Bloomer?
When they were doing the sketch things, I wasn't really involved in any of them. So both like Jasmeet, he does give you creative control, but at the same time, what I find is when I look at the dialogue, he's written it so well that there's really nothing else you can add. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I'll look at it and be like, okay, what do I add here? But it's written so well that you're like, you know what? This one sentence says everything it needs to say, right? Yeah. So I didn't really need to bring that. For me on that show, I think I'm surrounded by so many talented people. It's kind of like just, you know what? Just don't mess up. You know what I mean? Because then like sometimes you're doing a shot and then if you mess it up, then you feel bad because the other person delivered like a crazy line and stuff. And then you're like, oh man, I messed this up for everyone, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm scared of the most on that scene. And then there was a couple of, no, I can't talk about that. I don't want, because I don't, not giving away anything about the show at all. Okay. No season 2 spoilers? None. The last thing I want is Ricky to call me. None. No spoilers. Be like, what is this tiny little podcast you went on and you just spilled everything? I'm in it. I can tell you that. That's it. Yeah. I'm in it. You'll see Neil's in it still. I feel like we got one little spoiler. Which one? That you guys kind of cover that whole international student. Yeah. That's a topic they cover. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm excited about this show, because this show is actually covering our topics. Exactly. Like stuff that other people won't say. And I mean, if you go online right now and you look at anything with an Indian person in it, the first 45 comments are racist. Yep. Some of them are funny. Hey, racist doesn't mean not funny. Yeah. Like one time we were sitting there, me and my cousins, true story, but we were sitting there talking about all the stuff we've been called. Obviously the P word and everything going on and on and on and on. And then one of my cousins used to wear a batka. So where everyone's dropping, oh, I've been called this before, I've been called that before. And then he goes, burger. And then we're keep going. And I'm like, hold on, did you just say burger? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what? And he goes, oh, because I'm brown and I have a bun on my head. I'm like, hold on a second here. Can we take a minute to just appreciate how great that was? Like that kid that came up with that. I'm surprised a Gutti kid has not made that their Halloween costume yet. Yeah. Like, can you just imagine just lettuce and like a bun on top? Oh my God. Like seriously. But I was like, can we just take a minute to appreciate how good that, like, and he said it so casually. Like, I've never heard that before in my life. He's like, burger? I'm kind of like sour though about racism to a certain extent because that's a great way to start a sentence. Sour. We need our own slur. What do you mean? Like Punjabis? Indians in general. There's 1.2 billion people, but they call us, like, we're not Pakistani. Yeah, it's true. We're not. Like, we deserve our own slur. You're thinking of one right now. Yeah, because I'm like, what do we get called? And I'm like, smelly. No, but like, we don't have our own slur. Everyone else has their own slur. And we get grouped in with Pakistan, which is, I love them, but it's a different country. You know what? Think on that. If you think of one by the end of us filming this, let me know. Well, I got a couple. I'm just not going to say them. I don't want to get in trouble, but I do have a couple. I've read some on the internet that were great. Oh, okay. So you found some on like Reddit? You were creeping some? I had to upvote one. I didn't want to do it. Like, I'll go to all the racist stuff and downvote it, but there was one guy who wrote something and I was like, oh shit, okay, here. That's too funny. Yeah, take the upvote. The funny overtakes the racism. Yeah, every day. Late Bloomer, I feel like, is such a like representation of what we were talking about, which is like, South Asian creatives tend to find themselves in like, it takes a bunch of detours to get to being able to pursue whatever creative like passion that you have. Do you feel like you relate to that whole concept of being a late bloomer? Oh yeah, 100%. Because your story lines up so well with that, like 25-year career doing civil engineering and urban planning. And then now I'm getting into acting and I have my hat on backward. I'm in my 40s. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. I got my ears pierced like last month. Yeah. So yeah, like I honestly, I even said it when we're doing the interviews with Belle, I'm like, I relate to this show because I feel like I'm a late bloomer. And I know Jasmeet in this show is in his early 30s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you ain't blooming late. That's probably on time. Like, I'm in my 40s.
For a man.
Yeah, I'm on my 40s and I'm kind of coming to terms. The thing is, you never really figure it out. You never do. And the older you get, the more you realize that you spend your whole life trying to figure something out. You don't know what you're trying to figure out.
Yeah.
But you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you start realizing that whatever it is, it doesn't even matter.
Essentially what you're saying is it's about the journey and not the destination.
100%. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to say. That was more poetic. And I've never told this to Jasmeet, but like, look at the mark he's left for our community. If you look at it, like, we've never, like, this is a show that's Punjabi based that doesn't just lead with that. Like, it's a family based show that's on a major Canadian network. Like, I remember when season 1 came out and his commercial was on during the Super Bowl.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so the Canadian broadcast, because they had a commercial for Late Bloomer on during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at that, and then right after that, I'm like, man, like, this guy, like, look at what he did. Like he should be proud, and he is probably, but like him and everyone around him, like, dude, we have a TV show. Like, when I was young and we saw a brown person on TV, we got so happy. Yeah. Even if it was Apu. Yeah. And we didn't even get to voice him. It was like Gora who voiced him. You know what I'm saying? Right? But even if it was Apu, we'd be like, oh my God, look. Juvenile had a music video back in the that backed that ass up or whatever. There was a guy with a bug in that video. We were freaking out. Dude, there's a guy with a bug in that video. Holy blah, blah, blah.
Any like scene that you see or YouTube video or anything, if a sing comes up, the comments, sing.
Yeah, everyone got so excited back in those days that, oh my God, we're on TV. Like, even if it was just in the background. Yeah. Or even it was a taxi driver in a TV show. And like, Jasmeet put us in a position where we have a show on a major network that's not only one season, like, it got renewed for a second season. Yeah. So now any brown person that comes up now, these networks are going to pay attention. Yeah. So like, and I don't know if he realizes that. He probably does, but I've never had that conversation with him. But I admire him a lot for that.
Yeah. Even when I was like doing some research for this and like reading into it, there were a lot of people that aren't Punjabi that really, really found the show represented them, right? Like a lot of South Indian, like, you know, just
Filipinos.
Yeah. So many other people that can relate, because I think that there was a need for this, right? Like, there was a gap in representation. I don't know if you think about this a lot, but I think about it as a brown woman. Every brown woman you see in TV, right? We're talking like Mindy Kaling, like all of her representations. It's a brown girl who is self-loathing. She hates being Indian, and she is obsessed with white guys.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah, it sounds like me. I'm joking. No, but you're right. It's like, it's that character always. It's like a self-hating brown person.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I love this show. Like, I remember one time there was a line I had to say, and I kind of put an accent on it while we were just like practicing and reading and stuff. And then I was told that we're not doing accents. If you don't have an accent, you're not doing a line with an accent.
Oh.
He's got a really good thing. He's so talented. Like, he directed a couple of episodes too this year. And to see him like do that movement from like direction to like, then he shoots a scene and he's behind, like in front of the camera. Yeah. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Yeah. Like, I have to say 2 lines and I'm freaking out, and you're directing the thing and you're going in front of the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but even like when you see the set, and if you pay close attention, if you zoom into different aspects of the set, like, that is what a Punjabi home looks like.
100%.
That is like, we have those magazines. We have we have random.
Oh, he kept it authentic. Yeah. Even the taking your shoes off part.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that was like, he's like, you cannot have your shoes on in the house, dude. No. Like, it's a joy to work on. And the thing is, I'm looking forward to more seasons of it.
Me too. After season 1 of Late Bloomer came out, what was like your craziest fan experience? Or
probably the first one.
What was the first one?
Like, nothing crazy, but the thing is, the first one is the one that caught me the most off guard.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was at a market selling colognes, and there was these 2 girls, and they come up to me, they go, hey, you're in Late Bloomer. And I was like, what the hell? like people like I knew people were gonna watch it, but I didn't know I'd get recognized for it.
Yeah.
And then they asked for a picture, and that to me was just like, because I'd never expected that to happen. And then I said, I'll do a picture, but you have to do that filter with the bunny ears and the puppy thing. So I made him do that.
Oh my God. Why?
I have no idea.
Okay, cool.
Other than that, I think everyone I've kind of ran into, it's been great. But I do notice that there were people, like you were saying, that I did not expect would watch the show that came up to me.
Yeah.
So I was at Pizza, what's it called? Super Point? It's on Ossington.
Yeah, Super Point. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was there, and like I live right around the corner. So I went there to get pizza.
You're just going to tell people where you live?
Huh?
Am I just going to tell people where you live?
Yeah, whatever. What's I'm going to do?
Okay. Cool. You're not.
Just come hang out with me.
I forget you're not a brown girl. You're
yeah,
not like.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you something about Thailand in a second. But so then I walked in, and it was just this average dude, and he had a hat and long hair and looked like a hockey bro.
Yeah.
And me and him were talking hockey, and then he goes, "Hey, you're in that show, Late Bloomer." I'm like, "You watched it?"
Yeah.
Like that happened a couple of times where people that I thought wouldn't watch the show, and they're like, "Of course we did. I used to watch Just Rain videos way back when." Then I went to there's a Filipino festival.
Yeah.
And we were selling colognes there, and a lot of people recognized me there. And then I figured out after, and I told Jasmine, I go, "You have a lot of Filipino fans," because they're like, the family dynamic is the same.
Yeah.
So they said the same thing. They go, "We can relate." Because our dads were like that growing up, and our moms were like that, like overly caring. And our dads were like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And then even misogynistic elements where like the boy can do this and
the girl can't. Wow. The impact is so much bigger than maybe he anticipated or that anyone else would understand. Because like, I think as someone watching it as a Punjabi person, obviously I'm like, I relate.
Yeah.
Right?
But a lot of people relate. And that's what I think. I think because if you're immigrant, you relate.
Yeah.
Like I remember growing up, I had friends that were Italian.
Yeah.
And if one of their sisters went to the club, it would be just like brown guys. Their friends would walk up like, "Yo, I saw your sister at the club yesterday." They'd be like, "No way, dog!" It was the same type of setup.
Yeah.
Like I never used to say anything to my sisters for going to the club because my sisters are savage. I was like, "Yo, I feel sorry for a guy that goes up to them." Like I didn't feel like I ever needed to protect them that way.
Yeah. You wanted to protect other people from them.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were saying the brown girl thing. So I never understood that. Because as a guy, like sometimes my friends would come over and they'll be like, "Hey, can you go with us? We're going to go up Ossington to have a beer or whatever." And then I'd be like, "Okay, like why? Just come with us, creepy guys, whatever." And then I'd be like, "Oh, I went to Thailand, I understood." Because I would walk out alone and the massage places, they would just be like, "Massage," and then they would grab you and start dragging you in, dude. And you'd be like, "No, I'm good. And they'd be like, "Just what we see inside." I'm like, "No, I'm good." And they would be like dragging you. But then if I had a girl with me, because we went as a group of friends, they wouldn't do that. So I'd be going out at night going, yo, dog, can you just walk with me up the road? I just want to go to 7-Eleven. And they'd be like, "No. What do you mean?" I'm like, "No, dude, I get it now. Anytime you want me to go up Ossington, I will. Just please walk with me. I gotta go get a Diet Coke." But they would like lunge you. They would attack you, dude.
Oh my God.
But I told the girls, I finally get it. They're like, "You don't get shit."
That is the world giving you karma right there.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
The world wasn't safe in Thailand for a single dude.
No. What kind of advice would you give a kid, like a brown kid right now who wants to get into acting and like, obviously the parents want them to pick a stable career and do that. What advice do you think?
Just don't stop. A lot of people give up way too soon.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, you never know when it's going to happen for you. And you know what? It might not. Chances are it's not going to. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Chances are it's not going to. Like, does that mean you're not going to try? And then for a lot of people, like, their parents want a stable career. Do it. You can do both. Like, there is enough hours in a day. And I know I hate hustle culture. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves when people do that. "Oh, hustle this." Like, shut up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, sit down, smoke some weed, have a good time. Okay. But you can do both. You can do the career and just on the side, make friends with people that are into film, learn about cameras, like do little things that will keep that part of you satisfied. And if you're in there enough and you start talking to enough people, eventually things are going to happen for you.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Not everyone's supposed to make it.
Not everyone's supposed to be on TV.
Yeah, well, then I don't think I've made it, but I'm just saying, like, even in general, when a lot of people are like success, what does success mean to you? Money? Because everyone can't be rich.
Yeah.
So then you're trying to say that majority of the people aren't. So that you're trying to say majority of the people failed. No, they didn't. They've had like, I've met rich people that are miserable, and I've met poor people that are having the time of their lives. So
yeah.
just stay at it. Don't give up. And don't put yourself in a position where you feel like you need to give up. Yeah. Don't like put all your eggs in that basket where if it's not working out for you, you can't pay your bills.
Don't quit your day job.
Straight up. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't quit your day job, man.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people out there that worked in restaurants while they had a TV show running.
Yeah. Yeah. It's possible. I think that a lot of people just think it happens like this. They assume that, you know, someone just wakes up one day and they're on late bloomer, right?
Yeah.
It's not like that, right? It takes a long time
to get there. Yeah.
To get there. Like you can't expect to put a year in and then give up.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like if you stick with, like, if you think of it, I did work on my first short while I was still in university. I don't even remember the name of it, but I was just doing a film, television, society class, and there were some guys in there. They go, "We're doing a short." And I went on set. I think I had 2 lines in it. That was 27 years ago. Yeah, yeah. If I had decided there's like, I took breaks in between, but if I had decided in between that, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore, then my friend wouldn't have sent me the link to audition. Yeah. Because he would have been like, oh, he's not doing this anymore. Yeah. So and don't look at it as that you need to get somewhere for it to be the end game for you. Yeah. Just have fun with it. Yeah. And if you're really doing it just because you enjoy it, then it doesn't matter where it ends up. Yeah. It could end up on TV. It could end up on YouTube. It could end up you watching it with your friends. Yeah. That's another thing I tell people all the time. Everyone wants to make something perfect. Nothing is perfect. And then people will make stuff and not release it. And then I'll look at it and be like, this is great. Yeah. They're like, oh, we don't like this and we don't like that. Who cares? Progress over perfection. No one's going to like everything you do. Yeah. You got to just put it out there and then you'll find people that like it, or you'll get feedback on how to do better next time. Exactly. You're in a unique position where you got to kind of see this like South Asian creative scene start to develop in Toronto, in the GTA. How different is it now from when you were younger? Oh, there's way more opportunity now, I think. Yeah. Right? Like, it's like just beginning. Yeah. Oh, like now when you even watch like TV shows, like we're in them. Yeah. Even the space ones. Like I was watching, what's that show called? Expanse? Even the space ones. Yeah, like shit, they took us to space. Yeah. Yeah, like that guy Sagit, he's actually in season 2. Okay. But he's spoiler. Yeah. He's on Expanse or something, or one of those shows. I forgot the name. Yeah. But it's like you see so many more brown characters and representation on TV. Is it where it needs to be based on how much of the population we are? Yeah. No. Is it getting better? Yeah. That's all you can really ask for is like, is it moving in the right direction? Yeah. And I think it is. We still haven't really monopolized beer commercials yet. The thing is, we drink a lot of beer, right? Yep. But then I have a feeling too that if we started getting in too many beer commercials, then our community would probably have a problem with that too. Oh, they have a problem with everything. Yeah, but then they'd be like, oh, they're cool. They think we're alcoholics. It's like, nah, dude. It's just like, go to a hall party and then you tell me what you think. Yeah. At the end of the night. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, nobody wants to admit that that's a problem in our society. Like, I remember when Sun came out, some people were a little like iffy that we brought up the alcoholism and spousal abuse and stuff. We're like, you're telling me that doesn't happen? It's a huge issue. Hell yeah. Huge issue. Like, I don't know anyone my age that didn't know of either their own moms or their aunts or somebody that was abused by their husband. I don't know anyone my age that could sit there and say, I have no auntie or masiya or puas or chachiya. Wow. Everyone knows one thing, and it was just considered culturally acceptable then. Yeah. Which is terrible. Yeah. Sorry, this is did not expect to end on this note. Yeah. And on that note. Let's punch through Nakanda. Well, thank you for coming out and taking the time to come on. Do I shake your hand now or what? Like, how does this end? I don't know. We could, I guess, like, dap you up. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Is that a dab? That's not a dab. This is a dab.
Oh.
Come on. No.
Okay, hold on. You gotta show this to me.
You lived in Brampton how long?
I'm also old.
This is a dab.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's a dab. Did you learn that?
She was raised in Brampton as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna dab people the whole way home. I'm walking up Queen. I'm just gonna be, yo, you
There's
gotta
no
dab.
way you've never dapped. How do you meet your friends?
I don't touch people.
That's a good rule. That's a good rule for you to have.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for
All
taking
right.
some time. I'm excited for Late
So am
Bloomer
I.
season 2. Do you know? Wait, what's the release date?
April 11th.
April 11th,
Right around the corner.
season 2, Late Bloomer. I can't wait to see Sunny back on screen.
I can't wait either. And guys, come on, man, get Crave. I know IPTV has it, but come
Say
on.
it right to the right to that camera right there. Yeah.
Guys, get Crave. I know IPTV has it. I know it's hard out there. There's tariffs and there's like kind of like a recession happening. But if you guys want to see more content from our community get aired on channels like that and shows, you have to support it. I get it though. Times are tough.
Are they talking about distribution outside of Canada?
I don't know yet.
Because every single time, like I remember I posted something about Late Bloomer too, and people are always just like, well, I can't watch this. I'm in Australia or I'm in Europe.
They probably have something that's coming, but I'm not privy to that information.
They should. Because I feel like there's so many.
No, I
other
think
people.
they will. Like that's eventually where they'll probably go with it.
Yeah.
But for now, it's Canada only.
Damn.
Hey, look, we finally have a benefit for being Canadian.
That was so Canadian.
I know.
Oh, shit.
I can turn that on all the time.
It's almost like you're an actor.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, that was fun.
That was fun.